Naveen, what are some of the typical questions that your customers come to you with? Maybe not, they may not say to you directly, what is this? But it leads to the data question. What are you answering based on the questions that they ask?
Yeah, I can, because we deal with multiple businesses and in various stages of their life cycle, if it's a mature business which has subscribers and audience actually engaged, then they are asking us questions like, hey, how do I understand my audience better? And more importantly, okay, by understanding the audience, what are the actions that I need to take in order to engage them more? And then how do I monetize my engaged audience? And those translate directly into some of the analytics question earlier about some of the measurements, right? Like we talked about some of the measurements and metrics. So when somebody asks us the question, what is my audience like, and can I deeply understand my audience? We perform. I'm taking an example of sports. Like the audience watching a sports game or generally a subscriber to a sports service can be broken down into multiple groups. There are certain people who are fanatics. They are highly engaged. They like to see a lot of statistics. They're like the Moneyball, right? Like you're always looking at what's the head-to-head and what's the statistic, what's the probability of winning. Maybe they're engaged in betting. So there's a lot of things that you understand about the implicit behavior of that particular user on the application. So we can segment them into, hey, these people fall into the fanatic group. And then there is other group that we identify called tidal. So they're very tidal in the sense that they are, if there is a big event like the World Cup or Super Bowl, they're following. But other times they're not really, right? They're catching up highlights and short clips and interviews and things like that. And there are casual viewers. So by understanding and segmenting the users using the data that we capture from the behavior of the users in the application, we're able to really understand the user, what drives them. And then we can give them what they want. So a fanatic will really need a UI UX experience that's more tailored towards their needs. More data, like more interactivity, more like polls, trivias, leaderboards, and some other things. Like this is like on the digital side of things, leaderboards where you're competing against each other. So those are some of the things that we help our customers by doing the analysis. We help our customers to answer to deeply understand the subscribers. Now, how to act on it? By personalizing the content and giving out recommendations and giving out a personalized UI UX experience. We are basically engaging them. And then monetization is through upsells, through understanding the ad tolerance associated with the user, because you can really measure. This is going into the details, I know, but how many folks actually started an ad and abandon the session before completion of the ad. So when we compile that data across multiple sessions, we get a sense of what is the tolerance of ads, and we can break that down into, hey, this group of people from Canada are very tolerant to ads, and this people from like California are not. And then we can target them and increase the ad load and monetize them better, right? So that's really how to understand how to monetize. And the second group of customers I said are more growth-oriented customers. They are like greenfield. They don't have a big subscriber base, so they're like, how do I target? Who are the right, tell me more about lookalikes, right? So that they can do the campaigns, lookalike campaigns on all these social media platforms. So they have a different set of questions for us, and we help them by understanding what kind of dynamic headlines, images, descriptions about an upcoming game actually triggers them to sign up.
Okay, so with your customers, though, there isn't a formula, is there? Does each customer ask for something different?
Yes, but broadly, I would say, there are these two groups, but also there is the sports customers who are primarily focused on sports use cases, and then there is this media and entertainment. And now we're seeing the new form, which is like news and more short clips, user-generated content, but not really, we don't do a lot of work on the user-generated, but news clips. So these three customers have different use cases, but there is a lot of commonality in terms of their overall user life cycle, how they go through the service.